Are you seeing these numbers? Let's find out why. Hey guys, it's Tarot and Beyond. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today's reading is all about the angel numbers. So these are synchronicities, numbers that repeat, that we tend to see usually on clocks, license plates, or really anywhere. And they do have significant meaning beyond just the angel number representation. So we're going to go into depth on each of these numbers, and this is going to be a series. So this one is 111222333, and then there's going to be the 4, 5, 6s, 7, 8, 9s as well. So stay tuned for those here on the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. And for those of you who are new, this is going to be a sort of pick a card style format. So we have the 3 numbers. You can select the one that you're seeing repeatedly to get the specific message for you at this time. Or if you feel called to many of them, feel free to watch any and or all of the readings, whatever you feel called to. Take the messages that feel like they are for you and that resonate, and leave the rest. So I'll put those numbers up on the screen just to remind you which ones they are. Use the timestamps linked in the description box to jump ahead to your chosen reading or readings, and we'll see you there. All right, hello group number 1. You guys chose 111. So repeating sequences of ones, they are more than just angel numbers. Yes, it can mean that the angels or the spirit realm is trying to communicate with you. In fact, that is what it means, but it's more than just a little tap on the shoulder. It's more than just a, hey, look at me, or, here's a little bit of reassurance for you. They are guideposts. They are activation codes of consciousness. So just like binary codes in a computer activate certain files or downloads, it's the same thing energetically in this particular reality matrix. So numbers have energy, and when we interact with them, especially repeatedly, it's because our higher self is drawing us to that information at that time to be able to receive that activation. Ones are about a new beginning, new starts. It's number 1. It's also about the self and self-development. Ones can also represent new ways of thinking. So it's basically like expanding your consciousness. It can be about awakening to a new level of spiritual awareness or walking a new path as well. It can be about making a way forward or taking action in a new way based on the new levels of consciousness that you're being activated to or awakening to. So let's find out what Spirit wants to tell you today about why you specifically are seeing 111 or repeating sequences of ones. It doesn't have to be the 3 ones. It can be many different variations on that. So we're going to start actually with the tarot, and then we'll go into the oracle cards today, just doing things a little different. So we got the Soul Cats Tarot here. I actually filled these 3 cards. You have the Knight of Pentacles. So this may be in regard to a new action that you're being called to take in terms of preparation. So the Knight of Pentacles is, he likes to prepare. He likes to have an idea of what he's doing. He really enjoys kind of strategizing about the direction he's going to go. He's the type of person who wants to plan out the trip before he takes one foot out the door. So he's got it all mapped out on Google Maps. He's got every pit stop on the way. He's accounted for everything so that he feels really nice and structured and prepared and confident to be able to, take that initial step. That's what I'm seeing here for you. So this could be in regard to your finances, as pentacles do have to do with the physical realm, health, money, finances, career, things like that, or things that you're physically building in any way. But I'm seeing that this is kind of like a new point of activation for you to be able to step out into the world with confidence. We also have the Magician, which is the number 1 in the tarot. The Fool is the first card, but the Magician is the number 1 because this is the initial point of activation. The Fool is kind of like a state of being, whereas the Magician is when we actually implement things, when we put them into action. That's why it's represented by the number 1. It's also this energy of as above, so below. So the number 1 being vertical is connected to the above and taking that information, energy activations, or intention and anchoring that here into the physical reality, and what like the Knight of Pentacles was saying, putting it into action or doing something with that. So I do see you manifesting something here and setting an intention about what you want to create. Spirit is helping to guide you in what that's going to be. So be aware or pay attention to your ideas, thoughts that seem to just kind of pop into your head. That's not random, and not all thoughts are your own, you guys. Okay? The number 1 has to do with thought and thinking and new ideas. And so when we're looking at receiving these activations, not all thoughts are your own. A lot of the time, spirit will communicate with me by putting an idea in my head, and I have to ask them later, was that from me or was that you? And more than half the time, they're like, yeah, that was from us. So the more you know. And then you also have the Five of Swords. Okay, so this is kind of like a battle of minds, and it can be about conflict and interpersonal disagreements and ego battles. So I think that this is the new course of action that you're steering away from by being prepared. And these numbers, especially the ones, are helping to prepare you. They're giving you new states of consciousness so that you don't contribute your energy in these old dynamics and old patterns that were very ego-based or limited. And in that limited state, it can result in a lot of conflict and resistance and misunderstandings and things like that. You know, the Five of Swords is basically like, I don't agree with you and I'm going to prove you wrong just because I can. It's kind of like a bit of a dickish energy, to be honest. And this is kind of what I'm seeing you moving away from. It's like not entertaining those types of conversations anymore, removing yourself from that equation, and also no longer maybe even instigating those, because the number one is an instigative energy, but I see you instigating something different and manifesting things that are a lot more stable and a lot more predictable in the way that you can interact with the people in your life or what it is you're trying to do here. Okay, yeah, they want me to keep going with the tarot. So let's get more information here for group one. I did mention the Fool, and here he is. You've got the Fool card. So this is the first card in the tarot. So it does kind of correlate to the number one, but it's the 0 card because it represents that 0 point energy. What comes before 1? 0. So it's like what comes before action and manifestation? Well, anything. And that's what 0 represents, is the void. It's the void space where anything and everything is possible. It all exists, but it's in a non-manifest form. And then the magician, or the number one, takes things and manifests them into reality. So I feel like this is a big fresh start for you. That's again, what ones represent is new beginnings, new starts, fresh ideas. So you're really kind of going out on a journey. And I was getting that from the Knight of Pentacles, like the example I was saying about him wanting to prepare his course of action when it comes to traveling and making moves. And I'm getting that with the Fool card too. So I think that if you had some opposition to things that you wanted to do, places you wanted to go, people you wanted to see, or even people you want to be. I mean, like transforming yourself into a version of you that feels right for you, and other people not necessarily understanding that, or maybe even parts of yourself that don't necessarily agree with that. You know, it's like inner conflict. I really see you being like, okay, this is the time for a new start. And especially since, well, this is a timeless reading, but the time that this reading is premiering is in the late December time. So we're just now moving into January 2024 at the time that I'm filming this. And so this is the perfect time to be starting new things and planning trips for the future and things that you want to do and who you want to become. And I think that's really what these cards are talking about here. Oh, they said move to the next deck. Okay. So let's get some oracle cards for you, group number one. I feel this one. I care for the earth. I feel like you're going to be, I just heard the word globetrotter. And what I was getting from the I care for the earth card and the Knight of Pentacles is really like you getting out there and being in the world. I did just hear the word worldly. So yeah, you're going to be more worldly. And this one activation code is actually helping to guide you on the path, inspiring you with ideas or desires or passions or directions that you want to go. And then it's kind of up to you how you plan that out or how you go about taking action on that. But ultimately, the seed has been planted, because that's really what ones are. It's like a new seed of thought or an idea that really kind of propels you forward. And it does feel like a rebirth. Even in this card, you can see it's like these two seemingly pregnant women holding up an egg that's hatching. So it is a new beginning. It's this seed. It's very fertile. It's being planted. It's coming out. It's like breaking ground in some way. So it can be all of those things. So setting new intentions when you're seeing ones is important, and being very clear on what your mind is doing. You know, it's like, what am I thinking? And is that directed and supportive of my goal, or is that going in the opposite direction? Is that counterproductive? That's what you want to be thinking of when you're seeing ones. And we also have, I am open to love in various forms. Okay. So it does feel like this is an activation for you, group 1, on how you can expand your consciousness. And love is really the primary way to do that. That's the highest vibrational. It's the most core truth at the center of everything. So if you can open your heart to new levels of love, then you will really see that manifest in terms of not only your ability to physically manifest, but also the way that your thoughts are functioning and the way that you are taking action or what you're driven towards in your life. So let love be your guide, group number 1. Why did I say 2? Maybe you'll be seeing 2s as well. Maybe you're seeing sequences of 2s and 1s. Sometimes that can happen too. You know, it's not always just the repeating same number. Sometimes it's like different codes. I'm actually seeing a lot of 2s and 1s right now, so that feels relevant to me. Anyway, you also have number 35, Ascended Master, Babaji, and Diamond, So It Shall Be. So diamond, diamond consciousness. This is what 1s are connected to as well, because the 1 is the inception of thought, and the diamond consciousness is essentially like pure thought. It's pure consciousness. So I really see that, and being able to kind of reflect or refract out of that. The 1, it almost feels like it's connected to the crown chakra in this case. It could also be connected to the root because that's the first chakra, but I'm feeling it like somehow it's connected to the crown, thought, your mind, your consciousness, and how you take action on that. We also have number 39, Goddess Sekhmet and Fire Agate, Passion of the Lion Heart. I love Sekhmet. She's fierce, but she's so healing and transformational. I've worked with her throughout my journey. Actually, she came to me. But if you guys are interested in really getting some major activations, check out Working with Sekhmet. Do some research on her. Better yet, just explore her energy through your intention, because sometimes the research, the mythology is not accurate. Anyway, let's get some more cards here for you. So Passion of the Lion Heart really speaks of this love, again, so being open to love in various forms and exploring kind of what that means for you. And So It Shall Be is, again, I was talking about that diamond consciousness, but I'm also seeing it related to the Magician here, because So It Shall Be is basically saying, like, I can set the intention and manifest it. If I will it into existence, if I speak it into existence, if I set that intention and I focus my mind, so it shall be. And it's having this sort of passion to go after these things and to explore these new realms. Okay, you have a no. And I'm going to get clarity on that. Yeah, these 3. Why is this no here, Spirit? You have helpful people within the next few months, and not the right time. Not the right time. So group number 1, this isn't necessarily the right time to be setting out on a new journey. This is the time where you plant the seed, not where you enjoy the fruit. So if you're seeing repeating sequences of 1s, it is starting you on a new journey, but the best thing you can do right now is actually just kind of wait and watch and observe and focus on your thoughts, because that's what's going to help you to know what you need to do, what's the next step after this, and planning for the future in terms of what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. And I do see that as you kind of anchor in that energy of 1, what you're doing is actually becoming very magnetic, okay? So you don't have to do too much. You can set certain things into motion, but it's like things will progress on their own. And as they do, in the right timing, you will see these helpful people show up, probably, like they said, within the next few months. And that will take you kind of to the next level and the next level. Because number 1 is a solitary energy. It's about the self. And what comes after 1 is 2. 2 is about balance, relationships, harmony, coming together, collaboration and cooperation. So if you're looking for, let's say, for example, you're wanting a relationship and you've had lots of conflict in relationships, and this is not the right time to really enter into a new relationship. It would be more so about setting the intention of what kind of partner you're looking for, or what kind of love you want. Is it platonic? Is it familial? Is it romantic? So there's lots of different types of, is it spiritual? Is it esoteric? What kind of love are you looking for? And setting the intention for that will essentially bring it into being. So it shall be, right? So you're going to attract those things, but right now is not necessarily the right time to go out and start trying to do stuff. It's more like you're planning for this trip that is coming in the future, again, within the next few months. Okay, I'm going to go back in with this deck again. I just feel like there's more messages here. I feel these two and this one too. So 3 more. Like we had a no and now we have a yes. So group number 1, they're confirming basically what I was just saying there, is that it's a temporary no to give you the time to observe and focus inwardly and focus on yourself and your desires and your wants and needs and plan for that future to get the yes, and wait for the yes, because you'll get it intuitively. Especially if you're paying attention to these types of activation codes, they're going to become more prevalent. If you've been seeing them a lot and you're very familiar with synchronicities and how spirit works with you on your path, then you already know how this works. But if this is not something that you're familiar with, if this is new to you, because I know for a lot of people, 1s and repeating sequences of 1s, like especially 1111, is connected to an awakening. So like, for example, when I first started spiritually awakening, that was the first number sequence I started noticing, was 1111. It was actually the first synchronicity ever that I really noticed. So if this is new to you, just know that you'll be guided along the path, and all you need to do in this energy of 1 is pay attention. It's set the intention and respond appropriately to the information you're getting through your ideas, inspirations, and the mirrored information you're getting from the universe. You also have no need to worry. So they also want you to make sure that you're focusing your thoughts positively. That's another big thing with the number 1. It's very much about what is the frequency of your thoughts. Is it low vibrational, negative, fearful, shame, guilt, anger, blame? Those are all very constricted, i.e. slower moving and lower frequency thoughts. Positive thoughts, higher frequency thoughts, move faster and are more powerful, more effective, and they're more attractive and magnetic. And those thoughts are coming from love, peace, forgiveness, joy. These types of higher vibrational emotions, they quite literally have a magnetic field to them. And so each will attract what it is, more of what it is. So that's why they're saying don't worry. First of all, there's no need to worry. But second of all, don't worry, because you don't want to be working with that energy. You don't want to be attracting that. That's not what you want to put out there and will into being unconsciously. And then you have another no. Oh my God, you have 2 no's and a yes. But this one has an exclamation point. And it's actually reminding me of another reading that I did. I can't remember what the title was, but if I'll try and remember to link it in the description box underneath your timestamp group 1. And one of the cards, I think it was group 2 on that reading, was represented by this no card. I feel like this is kind of about you saying no to those negative thoughts. And you can do that. You can totally do that. And that's what rewires your brain and helps your subconscious to rework that energy. So anytime that those negative thoughts crop up, you can just say, no, I'm not going to choose to invest my energy in that, because your focus is your energy. That's what you create. So you've got to kind of be very aware of what your energy is going into and what your thoughts are doing. And you're responsible for that. So it's like course correction, just course correcting and planning the route forward by being intentional about what it is that you want to create and what kind of thoughts are going to help you do that. So write it down if you can, because that is an action you can take in a 1 energy. It's planning. So write it down, do a vision board, one tends to be very visual. So yeah, create a vision board, make it manifest in some physical, tangible way, but in a more preparatory vibe. Does that make sense? It's like you're not going out and doing the things, but you're preparing to do them by setting the intention and focusing on that trajectory. Okay? Yeah. So that's basically what I see for you, group number one. The 111 sequence is super powerful. It is a new beginning and an activation. So be very mindful of your thoughts around this time, because like I said, you're going to get new ideas that are going to help to guide you on this path. And you will also be kind of tested to work with, but not allow those negative thoughts to hold you back or tamper with your results. Focus your mind and you will get the results that you desire. Okay, so that is what I see for you, group number one. I hope this reading helped, and let me know how it resonates in the comments below if you feel called, and stick around for more of the number sequence readings. I love you guys, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right, hi group number two. Welcome to your reading. You guys chose 222. So this reading is going to be looking at what this angel number is representing to you. But first, I kind of wanted to touch on what these number sequences are. Yes, they are angel numbers. Yes, they are spirit connecting to you and sending you messages, and they do have to do with the energetic theme of that number. But you also want to pay attention to what is going on at around the time that you see the number, maybe even tracking the synchronicities surrounding that, or the types of context of the environment or your thoughts or what's happening in your life at that time when you're seeing those numbers, because they will tend to cycle, and they will show you the patterns or cycles that you're moving through and give you an indication about that. These numbers are activation codes. These numbers help to basically trigger within you and catalyze within you certain levels of consciousness, and they can reflect back to you what's going on externally that's helping that happen, or they can reflect back to you internally what's going on below the surface in the subconscious mind. It is communication from your spirit team, your higher self, and the angels. You know, everything kind of in the non-physical is connected in that way. So let's get some more information about 222, specifically for you, group number two, why you're seeing this, what it means for you, and what spirit wants you to know right now in regard to that. Okay. It's been like a couple of hours since I did group number one's reading, and they had the 5 of Swords, and you guys have this as well. And I just shuffled the deck. So it feels like you're getting freedom from something. Actually, it's like a completely different energy from group one. But yeah, you're getting balance through freedom, and that's helping you to expand out of like an old way of thinking, basically, is what I'm seeing. You have the 9 of Pentacles as well, and the 10 of Swords. So it's the end, for sure. It's the end of an old way of thinking or interacting with other people. 2s can specifically have to do with relationships, balance, cooperation, teamwork, communication. It can also be about building, creating something for the future, taking steps forward. And it's kind of like the merging of opposites. It can also refer to duality. So that's why it's important to kind of have context of what is going on in your life when you're seeing these numbers, because it'll help to show you in a very unique and subjective way what these numbers actually mean for you, because there are general themes that we can kind of extrapolate from numerology, but I find that it's more effective if you can write these things down and track the cycles yourself, because you'll see the patterns. So the 5 of Swords here and the 9 of Pentacles, the 10 of Swords, these are all really talking to me about the fact that you are moving out of a period where you felt like you had to isolate yourself to protect yourself from people who may have betrayed you. Maybe they actually did, or you perceived that they could or would. I'm also seeing that you're getting freedom by being able to essentially create stability for yourself. So you're not so worried about what someone else is going to do, because you're not allowing that to dictate your response, your reactions, how you feel, etc. So I feel a lot of more internal balance happening, and I think that's why the 2s can represent balance. It's like you're creating that internal balance for yourself, and that creates more stability, and that stability helps you have better connections to yourself and others. So it is the ending of that cycle. And we also have the death card. Yeah, I was literally just saying is the ending of that cycle. You got the death card. You got this 10 of swords that has the gravestone on it. So this is a major ending of a cycle, group number 2. And the reason that this is important and the reason you're seeing all these 2s is because it's bringing more balance to your life. It's through the ending of something that was imbalanced that this new state of stability and balance can really anchor in. You know, it becomes more stable and reliable. You feel more harmonious, and the things that you once did are no longer going to be the status quo, is what they just said. That's what Spirit said. They're not going to be the status quo anymore for you, group number 2. You have the Chariot. You are moving forward. That is for sure. You're moving on, I just heard. Yeah, moving on. And the death process can sometimes require us to grieve things that we need to let go of, you know, whatever it is that we're losing. Maybe it's a part of ourselves, maybe it's another person, a relationship, maybe it's just a state of being. Sometimes we have to grieve what we're losing, and sometimes we have to grieve the things that we hoped for, wished for, or never received. So allow yourself to go through this death process with whatever type of emotional balancing that you need to do. It is a little bit of a balancing act, but if you can do that with grace, compassion, and self-awareness, this is what's going to really help you move forward. The Chariot does also speak about balance. In the traditional Chariot, there's 2 sphinxes, one black, one white, and they pull that charioteer forward. So it can refer to the dichotomy between these dualities of light and dark, what is seen and unseen, and what I just heard, what exists in the shadows must come to an end. This is really specific for you, group number 2. Like, this is a massive death process, and it's patterns is what I'm seeing. It's like old patterns that kind of just kept perpetuating themselves. It feels karmic, but it's helping you. It has helped you to learn to feel these things. It's helping you also to step out of any imbalanced power dynamics and really learn self-discipline, because it takes a lot of discipline to maintain balance, not just to create it, but to maintain it. A lot of things can really throw us off our game and imbalance us. And it's about how well you've established the stability within you that can help you to bring back balance more quickly and to sustain that for longer. So group number 2, you also have the 7 of Pentacles. This could have to do with money. I'm seeing with the 9 and the 7 of Pentacles, this can have to do with your finances, your stability, your sense of security. And I think that may be related to these swords cards, which are kind of like how stable or secure you feel in relationship to others. And your own internal stability is going to directly impact the type of relationships that, number 1, you attract, number 2, you allow in your life. And that's why I think this death process is happening, is because maybe you've been through some serious stuff here in relationships that really kind of maxed you out, burnt you out, and put you in a position where you really had to kind of reassess how you were going to carry forward and how you were going to keep moving on. I do see really good support coming in for you. I feel like there's a team effort going on. They're showing me that with all of these little animals here, and it's like they're all working together towards a common goal. And then you also have the bird and the cat here, so it's like opposites can balance out, you know, it's like opposites attract. But I think the key here is that you are in your own balanced state, so that you've united the opposites within yourself and come to understand and accept those things that were hidden in the shadow. And as you do that, you're liberating yourself, you're moving on from things that were legitimately imbalanced, and choosing relationships, people, partnerships, team environments, and collaborations that much better suit you and that help to create and maintain sustaining that balance over time. And if you're not seeing that happening yet, 2s can also be about trust and patience, and that's what the 7 of Pentacles represents, and the Chariot card is the number 7 as well. And 7s are about kind of like resting, receiving, observing, meditating on it. You know, it's like just kind of slowing down and taking a moment. I just heard take a beat. I never say that phrase, so I don't know where that came from, but Spirit will give me these little phrases or images and things like that, because it's relevant to the reading or it's relevant to a specific person. So take a beat. It's like, take a moment, pause, just allow yourself to breathe and regain that balance. That's what's going to be helpful here. Look at that. You have, I speak positively of others. And it's like the duality here, these two people facing in opposite directions. It's the perfect energy for the number 2. And I did see that, it's like you may have experienced relationships where people spoke negatively about you behind your back or even to your face. And having those types of energetic connections can really drain you. And I think that's why the 10 of Swords is here, and it's like death card time, because it's not healthy for you. It's not balanced. It doesn't help you stay balanced. Gossip, jealousy, envy, projection, anger, blaming others for anything, really. It puts us out of whack, and it puts our relationships with other people very unstable as well. Oh, I love this. You have, I invoke laughter. I invoke laughter. So speaking positively and choosing to find the humor in situations, I think that's going to help balance this out, especially if you've been through really stressful things. Group number 2, that 10 of Swords energy is not easy. Neither is the death card. Death card energy is intense. It can be like an ego death of yourself, having to shed certain layers of you to create more of this harmony and balance. And I was getting that from that Chariot energy of light and dark. It's like doing some shadow work, basically. It's pretty intense, right? It's not easy, but it is going to help you to see the best in yourself, and then as a result, see the best in others and attract better relationships in others, or evoke the best within the people that you're currently connected to. So yeah, laughter, invoking laughter as like a tool of getting through something hard, not bypassing it, not glossing over it, or using the laughter as like an unhealthy coping mechanism, because that's not balance either. But it's more so you being able to genuinely see the lighter side of something that seems quite dark, and understanding the duality between those things, right? Because if you can hold two things that seem like opposites at the same time, you're doing something right. Because unity is not about duality, it's about combining of opposites. Okay, we have the Untamed, Goddess Freya and Amber. The Untamed. Ooh, I like this energy for you, group 2. I feel like you're unleashing yourself on the world. I don't know why I'm getting that feeling. Just energetically, it feels like you're like creating this balance with yourself. You're learning some stuff about how you relate to other people and how that reflects on your relationship with you. And then you're letting yourself just be you, like the untamed version of you. You're not holding anything back. You're being fully authentic, and it's coming from a very stable, balanced place. I just looked up at the time and it was 12:12. So again, we have 2s in that sequence. Yeah, so it just feels like you're unleashing yourself. And then you have Relief and Repair, Ascended Master Mataji, and Crimson Cuprite. Relief and Repair. So group number 2, there is a need to get some relief and some repair here with these tough energies of the Death card and the 10 of Swords. Those are the ones that are really standing out to me. And even though you have other positive cards in this reading, those are the ones that feel the heaviest and are kind of taking up the most energetic space. And I think that's why you need those moments of the 7 energy. I'll be posting the rest of these number sequences. So this is the 2s, but we will be looking into the 7s as well in a later video. So stay tuned for that. But the 7 energy is like rest and repair. And that's literally what this card is talking about, relief and repair. So I just heard speak positively about yourself, and you will see the positive in others around you. Okay. But yeah, you definitely need some time to rest, to repair, to just enjoy yourself and see the lighter things in life. It's like you've really kind of been through it, group number 2. And I think that doing some more lighthearted things, connecting with lighthearted people, having more fun, and just allowing yourself to rest is really, really important in your recovery from this really intense, imbalanced state that you may have been in the past. Yeah, remain positive. It's going to help you remain positive. It's going to help you, they just said repair your vibration, because there was something that was significantly out of whack. And it does feel like it was to do with relationships. But relationships really stem from our relationship with ourselves. So if our relationship with self is unhealthy, our relationships with other people are going to be unhealthy. So if you are seeing that reflected back to you, mirrored back to you, then it's important that you look at yourself and how you feel about you, right? Are you speaking negatively about yourself? Are you harsh with yourself? Do you tend to neglect yourself or push yourself too hard or be perfectionistic? Because all of those internal mechanisms aren't always going to be a direct reflection on the outside. It doesn't mean you're going to necessarily project that onto others, but sometimes it'll kind of mirror back to you in the sense that you'll attract people who are critical, or you'll attract people who are hard on you, or who are even like downright abusive, or who drain you because you're energetically draining yourself. So it's usually very subjective and context-based, but generally speaking, if there's something that's out of whack, it's going to mirror back to us in some way. So remaining positive is going to help you to break that cycle, unleash the true aspect of who you are, which is very high vibrational and whole. It's uniting these opposites so that the shadow doesn't drag you down anymore, so that you can kind of welcome it into your circle and create a space for that shadow to live, so that it doesn't feel rejected and cast out from the totality of who you are. And in doing so, you are healing the relationship with yourself, and that will reflect back in your outside relationships too. I love this. Big happy changes. Group number 2. Big happy changes. The number 2 can be about trust. So the more that you remain positive, the more that you set aside time for relief and repair, the more that you focus on the gratitude for each present moment and find the sweet things, even in the sour bits. It's like if you can see the silver lining in everything and train your brain, train your mind to look for those things, subconsciously that will be what you see. And it's not in a spiritually bypassy way. It's like you will create the reality that is more positive and aligned. You will build that. Number 2 is the master builder number, because you are focusing on that, because as a creator being, what you focus on grows. So it's like you're unleashing your power, learning to balance it by integrating these healthier relationship dynamics with yourself, working with these different parts of you, and how that's reflecting back to you in the relationships you have outside of you. Big happy changes as you remain positive. You will have so much opportunity to laugh, group number 2. You will really enjoy yourself. I think for the first time, truly in like a long time, because just feeling into this energy and seeing that 10 of Swords really continually pulling me back to it, I feel like you either lived through a lot of really negative things, or you had a very negative internal environment, or both, right? Because again, it's going to mirror it in some way. So it's like no matter what happened, it was painful. No matter what happened, there was sorrow. No matter what happened, there was like, I keep getting this abusive energy. I don't know why. That's so weird, but if I feel it, I gotta say it. So it does feel like there was something here that was very conflict based. That's 5 of Swords. So there was something that was very conflict based that kind of left you feeling probably either persecuted or put into the victim role. And I just feel like you're choosing a different path for yourself. And I think that's why the 2 is here, because it's helping you to see the options and go in a different direction. If we think of 2 also about choice, in the tarot, that's what the 2s represent, is choice. Like the 2 of Swords is weighing up different options and trying to be impartial about it. The 2 of Wands is about picking a different path, choosing the path that feels the most aligned, or that you're most passionate about. 2 of Pentacles is like learning to balance your finances and resources. So we can see like balance and choice being a major theme in 2. So I think that you choosing these different things for yourself and taking care of yourself and seeing the lighter aspects of life, you're going to really see big happy changes from that. They just started playing the song from Life of Brian in my head. It's such an old movie. I feel like you might not get this reference if you weren't like born If you were born like past 2000, you won't know this reference, but it's Monty Python Life of Brian. And they're all being crucified and they're up on the crosses and they start singing this song. It's like, always look on the bright side of life. Do-do, 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 do-do. So I feel like that's pretty extreme, right? Like if you're being crucified, really persecuted by someone else, it's really hard to keep that optimism alive. It's really hard to stay hopeful and positive and optimistic. Like, you know, it's a lot to ask of anyone, and it's human to intensely experience pain and suffering. But you always have a choice. That's your power, group number 2. You always have a choice. You have a choice in how you choose to interpret every experience that comes across your path. You can choose to be a victim, or you can choose to empower yourself and untame who you truly are. And you deserve this time to really repair from what you've been through. And that positivity is going to help you do that. It's literally going to rewrite your neural pathways because, you know, we're talking about spiritual stuff here, but there are physical aspects to this. And neurons that fire together wire together. So if you change the way you think, your thinking changes and your reality will reflect that. Okay? So that is what I'm seeing for you, group number 2. I hope this reading helped. Check out the other number sequences if you're seeing any others, and you can always come back to these if you start seeing other ones. Again, pay attention to what's happening around the time that you're seeing those patterns repeating and what that lesson, because these numbers are activations, they're lessons, they are helpful support and guidance. So I hope this helped in the form of guidance as well. I love you guys. Thanks for being here on the channel, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right. Hello, group number 3. You guys chose 333. So let's talk about angel numbers and seeing repeating number sequences. These are synchronicities that come in the form of numbers, right? Numerology can tell us a fair amount about these things and the information that they're holding. But as I was saying in group 1 and 2, it's also important to look at the context of what is happening for you around the time that you're seeing these repeating number sequences, because that can give you a good indication of your personal connection to that number, what it means for you. It may vary from person to person, which is another reason why we're going to get cards on this and dive a little deeper into what it means for you specifically. But the number 3 itself can be about expansion. It's like a new beginning, but it's a creative new beginning, and it's not like you're starting from scratch, where number 1 is about the self and it's a new beginning in its sort of seed form. Number 3 is more like you've already collaborated, you've balanced some things out, and then in the number 3, you're able to really unite even more. It can be about working with other people. It can be about the ascended masters and working with them to further your spiritual growth, your evolution, or your creative potential and your expression. So creative projects beginning around the number 3 or 3 sequences can be important. It can also be about uniting mind, body, and soul, like the Trinity. It can be about Christ consciousness. Like I said, ascended masters can be really connected to the number 3. And can also mean that there's additional collaborative resources available for you, sometimes in the form of other people who you can work with and create and build with, and sometimes with spirit guides. And like I said, again, ascended masters, they tend to be connected to the number 3. So let's get some information for you, group 3, on what this number 333 or any repeating number sequence of 3 is trying to tell you. I feel these 3 cards. 3. You have the 8 of Cups, the 6 of Swords, and the Magician. Ooh, okay. So I feel like with these 3 cards here, the 3 is telling you about following your own path. You can go your own way. It's like you're just going to be doing your own thing. It's like you're following your heart and you're going into a little bit of uncharted territory here. The 3 can be about doing something that you've done before, but in a new way. And it's because you are feeling creatively inspired, or even because you're being directly guided by spirit. This is a new avenue for you that's being unlocked, is what they're showing me. And it's something that you've been working on manifesting. It does feel very creative to me. And yes, that does correlate to the number 3, but specifically just kind of what we're talking about here and what I'm seeing in the cards so far, it feels like it's something that you're meant to be creating or doing physically. I think part of this is also going to be about kind of going on a journey of sorts. The 8 of Cups and the 6 of Swords are both movement-based energies. And it can be about, like I said, walking a path, doing it your own way. But I think this can also represent finding new ways of expressing yourself through connecting with the world in a different way, or connecting with different parts of the world. So it feels like expansion for me. That's like, that would be the hashtag word of this reading. Number 3, expansion. Now, I'm interested to know more. So let's go into some oracle decks as well. So for group number 3, what else do they need to know here, Spirit? I do good. I love that. So the throat chakra really standing out to me there. I feel like you doing good in what you are creating. Speaking could be part of that. And singing perhaps could also, for somebody out there, I just got singing, a message about singing. She's got a book in her hand too, so this could be about learning something new. Knowledge and wisdom, I just heard as well. Yeah. Okay. What else, Spirit? I honor virtue. I do good and I honor virtue. Wow. Yeah. So I feel like, and then on the bottom you have, I hold purity in high esteem. So group number 3, this is like you being in your integrity and alignment. I feel like you're kind of bringing things together, like different parts of the system are all uniting into one. And it's through that alignment that you are essentially creating a lot of integrity for yourself. So integrity, yes, it can apply to like moral integrity. Are we doing the right thing for the right reasons? But when I'm talking about integrity from a soul level perspective, this is really more so about, is your soul whole? Is the holistic system of who you are, mind, body, and soul, all accounted for and in balance? Is it all working together cohesively? The number 3 here for you is talking about that, and that's why the Ascended Masters are bringing you information that you need through different learning resources, maybe through books, but you could be channeling it too, because the throat chakra is like about channeling. So you could be speaking channeling, like what I'm doing right now, or you could be writing channeling, maybe scripting or auto writing or journaling can even start to give you a little bit of a foray into that field. And I think that this connection that you're making to spirit by following what feels right for you is allowing you to align your actions with your soul's desires. It's like you following this path that feels right for you is creating more alignment at the soul level, and then it's unlocking all of this energy that is kind of bringing in additional resources for creative inspiration, for collaborations, and for the information you need to be able to implement these things in the real world. Okay, let's look at this deck now. So for group 3 spirit, seeing the number 333. We actually have 2, revelation. Angel Amitiel and blue obsidian. Blue obsidian, blue connecting to the throat chakra once again. Revelation. Yeah, this is a revelation for you. The revelation also reminds me of the Bible, and since we're seeing the book there, could be something to do with like reading information that aligns with you. It doesn't have to be the Bible, right? If you don't resonate with that. There's something about relevant information that is being provided to you from, I just heard learned teachers. Learned teachers. So like I said, this can be, okay, when we're referring to Ascended Masters in the Bible, Ascended Master Jesus, Yeshua. This could be other Ascended Masters, real or like physically, who have lived here on earth and they've relayed this information. They've maybe written books or spoken about these things, or these can be more esoteric masters, master guides and things like that. You also have goddess Shiwang Mu and stromatolite with rare success. So this is a revelation that you're getting to follow your path, to stay in integrity with yourself. And in doing so, you're creating rare success for yourself because you're unlocking, like I said, all of this energetic potential to not only pursue what you're being called to do from within. It's like you feel it in your bones. It's a soul calling. It's very much heart-led. It feels like to stay in alignment, this path is the direction that you're needing to go, and you feel that, and then you've kind of responded and started taking those steps forward, and in turn you're attracting the 333 because Spirit is saying, here's some additional information, here's the resources you need to continue doing what you're doing and to master this, to get to success, and to continue to unite these different parts of the self so that the revelations you need can become real and applied in your life. Okay, let's get some angel answers for group 3. Take action. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was feeling with the 8 of Cups. It's like you're choosing a new direction. You're doing it the way that you want to do it, and the way that you are making things happen here and getting into and staying in your integrity is by taking action that is aligned. And that's going to vary from person to person. An aligned action for one person is not going to be the same for someone else, because it's not about good or bad, negative or positive. It's about your unique soul, right? So like for somebody who has a soul blueprint that is very hands-on, sitting and reading all day is not going to be an aligned action for them. That's not going to feel good for them, and trying to force themselves to do it is going to actually put them out of alignment, out of their soul level integrity, and it's going to create more resistance. Whereas somebody who's more mentally oriented and who learns best through reading would actually really benefit from that, and they could get a lot of spiritual guidance and alignment through that. So this is why it's so important that we understand ourselves in this process, because Spirit will give us these indications that are highly subjective for us, and they will help to guide us on this path. So they want you to take action on something here, group number 3. Okay, I've got, whoa, the deck almost flew out of my hands. Okay, there's a couple more cards here, 3 more cards from this deck. Abundance. You have rare success and abundance, group number 3. And, you know, when I look at the number 3 written sideways like that, it almost looks like the breasts and belly of a pregnant woman. So it does remind me of abundance, and that's why I also connect it to creativity. So there's something about creating abundance for yourself here in a very successful way, because you're following your unique path. You're listening to the calling of your soul rather than what society or other people or even your own conditioning are telling you. You're listening to your inner guidance, and you're taking action on that. They say look for a sign. Well, yeah, that's why you're here, right? The 3s are signs, but they're also telling you to look for additional information in the form of synchronicities. I have another reading on synchronicities. I will try to remember to link that in the description box underneath your timestamp, group number 3. But I also would encourage you to start keeping a synchronicities journal. Like write down all of the repeating things that you're seeing and what the context is in your life, because it's going to help you put some puzzle pieces together. Spirit will give you these breadcrumbs, but you have to kind of pay attention and interpret them correctly to be able to act on them. So look for those confirmations and those synchronicities all around you, because you'll get more information about what you're meant to do. And they're not here they haven't brought you to this reading to tell you what that is, because it's good. Like I said, it's going to vary from person to person, but generally speaking, all of you who are watching this reading are meant to be looking for the signs, because that is how you're going to learn and apply what is right for you. Peaceful resolution. I like that. Well, that's very 6 of Swords. Like the 6 of Swords is moving out of troubled waters, moving into calmer waters. It is a very peaceful resolution. So I can see why this card is here. And I think this peaceful revolution, I said revolution, but I meant to say resolution. And you did have revelation. Revelation, resolution, revolution. All are words. So again, it's like, what does it mean? It's finding the connections between things, and then discerning whether that's relevant information or not. Another R word. Okay, I'll stop. This resolution coming from the revelation is creating a revolution for you, group number 3. And you are expanding beyond the bounds of what you thought was possible is what they're showing me. And it's creating so much potential for you. I just heard the word optimal potential for you. It's very much aligned with your divine expression. And it could, like I said, have to do with speaking. You could even be called to share on social media, or maybe you already are, and this is confirmation. This will be one of those little signs, right, that is mirroring back to you that this is the action you're meant to take, or that if you're already taking it, then this is going to lead to some kind of rare success, especially as you stick to your guns in terms of your integrity and your own alignment of what feels right for you. Yeah. I also feel, group number 3, that there's going to be a time coming up in the near future that you're going to start receiving some positive feedback. And I think this is going to come in the form of abundance coming from other people. They're like investing in you some way. Maybe you're selling something. Maybe there's just a lot of positive like, let's use the social media example. This doesn't have to apply to you, but that is a specific message they showed me for at least one person here. Let's say, for example, you start speaking your truth and you're doing it very authentically, and you're doing it in a very aligned, creative way, and you're following those signs. You're listening to yourself, your spirit, and your guides, and you start consistently taking action on this. And then all of a sudden you start seeing a lot of positive feedback. You know, you're getting lots of good comments, likes, shares, subscribes, whatever, views. And it's like you start seeing the value of that come back to you in some way. It doesn't have to be monetary, but it's like you start seeing that positive feedback, and it helps to kind of confirm that you're going in the right direction. It also helps to give you more inspiration to continue taking action towards what feels right, and finding and kind of like picking your way through, following these breadcrumbs. It's like skipping from rock to rock, like in the 8 of Cups here. So it's not like you have a very direct beeline, straight course or straight path in front of you. It's very intuitive, which is what the water represents, right? Cups and the water in front of the cat here. It's like you're hopping from stone to stone by following the breadcrumbs that Spirit is showing you through these signs. And you're leading yourself also through your intuition and your ability to interpret and act on those signs into calmer water, where you're going to get much better results. You're going to see the abundance flow in multiple different forms, and it's going to feel very much like a rare success, but it's not rare in the sense that this was very much about you refining how you take action and doing so in alignment. It's like the success is inevitable when you are taking aligned action consistently. Yeah. You're a manifester, right? Magician card. I mean, yeah, you manifested this success. So it's not like some fluke or some just luck of the draw. No. You manifested it. You created it through your own alignment, through following the signs, through staying dedicated and consistent. I keep getting that energy of consistency. And by holding your integrity and your purity as the utmost thing of importance here. You know, you're like, I'm not going to compromise what I believe in to get, again, going back to the social media example, to get views or to get likes or whatever. It's like sticking to your guns. I really feel like that's the way that you're going to succeed here, because energetically, when you're in alignment, you attract aligned supportive circumstances, and Spirit is really, really on your team here about this. They are guiding you every step of the way, is what they're showing me. That's why they want you to keep looking for these signs and confirmations, because they are working very, very closely with you right now, like right beside you all throughout the day. And they want to keep giving you these breadcrumbs that help you to take these little tiny leaps of faith forward on your path towards what feels aligned with you. So that's what I see for you, group number 3. This is beautiful. You are working very closely with Spirit, and there's a lot of creative expansion for you going forward, and success that's going to come from that in whatever environment or arena that happens to be applied within. So take it as it resonates for you. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. I hope this reading helped. Check out the other number sequences. They will be coming later this week. And if you're watching this in the future, they're already up on the channel. So you can check out these 4, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8, 9s, etc. So I love you guys. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye.